Hello YouTube and welcome back to my Katanagatari reaction series, back here again today for some more Katanagatari. Last week we explored the relationship between Chichika and Togami in a little bit more detail, and now apparently we're going off to the other side of the country. Literally, we're going to Ezo, also known in modern day terms as Hokkaido. So the northernmost island. It's going to be cold. We saw in the preview that it's snowing. Surely we're going to get some gear off of that, and I think all the money will core up here as well. So like, there's going to be 6 more characters to meet. I wonder where Nanami's going to come into any of this as well, considering she's off the island somewhere. You wouldn't think anywhere close to Ezo, but I digress. Yeah, it should be pretty interesting. And the reason I'm bringing up all these points now is because the YouTube comments are very funny. It's just 4 different people saying wowza. I guess I should say their names. It's Meldy, it's Gian Bueno, Ice CP, and Hot Wheels Kid. I believe Hot Wheels Kid was the first, yes. And many other people followed suit. I do not know what this is about. Maybe this has some meaning. I don't think it does. I think you guys are shitposting. That's fine. That's funny. I like that. There was also, for the record, there was a Viewbot comment that YouTube has now deleted that was going to be the crux of one of my jokes, where I'm like, oh, finally, somebody that didn't say wowza. And it was just a bot. That would have been kind of funny. I wish the comments stayed up and YouTube didn't delete the bot. Anyway, I'm rambling. We should just go into the thing. Go watch Katanagatari episode 6. But of course, before that, I'll do some show stuff. So if you like the video, consider liking the video. If you like the video and you want to see more, consider subscribing to the channel. Comment below anything you thought about the episode, anything I could do to improve my presentation. Comment below. I'm doing follow for follow on Twitter, so follow me on Twitter if you'd like me to follow you back. And the Discord. Join Discord, love Discord, 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 Discord. And yeah, we're jumping into episode 6 of Katanagatari right now. Oh yeah, I also forgot to mention, there's a poll. There's a poll on the channel for some movies. You can pick a movie to watch. They're all pretty good, and I'm going to watch all of the movies eventually. It's just in order of priority, so I can watch some movies on the weekend sometimes. That's basically what I'm doing. Either way, I've got the episode up here. Hang on. How do I work my channel again? There we go. And yeah, 49 minutes and 50 seconds on that one. So sync up accordingly. GSK Kun subs. And yeah, there'll be a picture-in-picture version for the viewing pleasure of the audience. Either way, just going to give it a 3, 2, 1. Radio? 3, 2, 1. Go. Okay, sure. Primitive wildlife. It looks pretty nice there. Maybe not. Also, how do you get tricked when you're like on a boat? It's like, we're gone way too north, guys. Like, just pull over here. I don't know about the kind of the shelf of the ice. I agree. Actually, right now, this looks pretty nice. Again, it is hot as balls outside. Mount Odori. Climbing for their lives. It's the same color as the snow, too. Well, yeah, you would have never even, like, seen it like this, huh? Because you were, like, isolated. It is Zora clan. I hope not. I'm guessing. Source, I made it up. Oh. Soto Kanazuchi. Pair of swords? Oh. I thought he liked the Giants. Okay, never mind. Yeah, I like the nose as well, like the red nose. Just nice. Shows how cold it is. Yeah, okay, so we're going to the top of the mountain to see some clan, and apparently they're potentially descended from giants, which I think is bullshit. Along with most of what she said, they're like the abominable snowman, the abominable snowman, abdominal snowman. Um, yeah, so I don't know what to expect really. I know the money were here from the preview. Other than that, we're just gonna go to the top of a mountain, which I guess is fair enough. Oh, and that's the princess, Haite, right? Okay. The opening's coming together a little bit now. It's pretty crazy production, yeah, because you would have had to have the opening done, and then you're literally like playing it for like a full year. Because one of these came out a year, yeah, oh not a year. One of them came out a month. As there's fucking sirens outside, Jesus. Very interesting production. I like 12 episodes over the course of a year. That's so weird. Soto. Wasn't there another word there as well? Anyway, we'll look into it. Oh, this isn't. Is it? Yeah, no, I thought it was a worry. We got tricked. Amon Zymon. It's really got a stupid reason as to why that happened. It was rhetorical. Oh, he loves it. Dude, it's tuxedo mask. First class disaster region. Mm-hmm. Probably because of the elements, right? Oh, okay. Oh, Yetis. Itezora. Okay, sure. Again, they're really teasing us. Oh no. Also, I can't do that. No, but it's a stupid last wish. I'm not doing that. Well, that too, yeah. Soundtrack's fun too. Okay, sure. Okay. Yeah, could we complete our quest first? Oh no, not that. They're mowing, bro. Wait, what? Alright, that's pretty bad. I think he might be sick. Well, because I put you first. Damn, Togami's fucking dead. I don't know. If only there was some third parties on the mountain that could help. There's one. I know your voice too. Like, straight up. Okay, thank you. You're very strong. Holy shit. Oh, okay, sure. Itezora. Yeah, I think 6 are dead. Oh. Okay, Turtle Boy. Oh yeah, we know you. Oshidori. Furry. Okay, cool. The Penguin. Huh? Shapeless? Is he invisible? What happened? What do you mean? I remember. Fun choice of word there, exterminated. Yeah. Hmm. Just the sword or something, huh? Not Komori. We don't even like that guy. Oh, that must be the guy that's like invisible or something. The rabid dog or whatever. We got tricked. I know that voice too. Oh, okay. What? That sounds like someone we know. Okay. Okay. That person seems really strong. I wonder if there's snow falling, if we'll be able to see whoever they are. Oh. Yep. Okay. Sure. Yeah. Sure. Okay. Hmm. Well, she kind of is freezing to death. We'll see. Thanks, Land Dweller. It's a big, long name. Sure. Sure. Nisio Sin moment. I'm here to steal your sword. But there's also something else? Oh. Are you the only one left? Yeah, okay, shit. Yeah, there should maybe be two of them. Get trolled. But you're also very strong, though. I too do this when I'm thinking. That's terrible. That would hurt, no? It's literally the only lead we have. I might just be imagining it. She might. Yeah. It still rings true, I think. Okay, sure. Can we sit by the fire a little bit longer, please? Oh, is she just gonna go get it? I don't think she knows. Or unless she's lying. Yeah, but there's a maniwa. You guys don't understand yet. No. Could I beat up a child? Okay. Okay, you got anything for me? Wonder what kind of flower that is. Anyway. Yeah, but what does that mean? I had the same question last week. Yeah, that's a pretty important one. Alright. Okay, so he knows the plot. I didn't know that she didn't know that he knew the plot. Oh, no, no, of course. But she didn't know that he knew. Of course. Okay, now I remember the first episode. Yeah, we checked. We checked. Yeah. Yeah. It's like a good thing, right? Despite your lies. Okay. As his face is being pulled apart. Hmm. Yeah, but what's the intention? What am I actually going to be doing here? Wait, it's such a weird story, isn't it? Like, the lack of agency that Chichika has is crazy. Anyway, I'll talk about it. Just having a nap. Well, he's probably pretty tired. There you go. Oh, or not. Yo. Okay, that got me. That's crazy. It does keep him up at night. Oh. Ah! Jump scare. That looks pretty official, so sure. I thought I read somewhere that there was twin blades, but maybe I'm just wrong. What the fuck? What just happened? How the fuck are we gonna carry that? Exactly. And she's 11, and she's swinging it. Oh. And how does that work? How do I prove myself? In some kind of duel? Yeah, apparently. I don't feel like this is going to go very well for our heroes. Ha- It was very easy when it was a giant man in armor, but if it's... How do you do that? Okay, we landed a blow. Thoughts? She's dead. Yeah, how? Lucky my arms are kind of like swords? My arm broke? Yeah, shit. I knew the framing was setting him up to lose, but yeah, okay. I kind of maybe thought the Manua person would show up. Interesting pose as well. Everybody wants to see this happen. Okay. Resident Mind? Oh. What's happening? Oh. That would be very interesting. Oh my god. I broke your friggin' arm. I'm interested in this, like, it seems like inhabits the body of women. Oh, I could use some jerky. Okay, thank you. Goodbye. Well, the whole thing's kind of your fault, but not specifically. If I turned into a worm, would you still love me? That type energy. Yeah. If anything, that's the thing I'm upset about. But think about the bed scene in the hammock. Think about it. It looked like a worse break than like half a month. Yeah. She just wants someone to hang out with. She wants to play. That's tragic. Where did the avalanche fall from? Anyway, probably not the question to be asking. Yeah, that's fucking pretty tragic. Are we sure we can't ingratiate her into some other clan or society or something so she has like some friends? Uh, I was gonna say that sounded like some kind of dog. She is not wearing much clothes for where she is. Yeah, but I'm cognizant that she could switch bodies or something, right? Alright, maybe not. Maybe I'm one step ahead, maybe. I didn't kill, like, 3 of those people. She just said, what of it? Yeah, okay. And now she's gonna do it? Alright. I love she just puts her hand out. Yeah, okay. Cool, I was one step ahead. Definitely needed to see that again. That's good. Is this going to be like a Freaky Friday thing? Are they going to switch bodies? Is that how it works? Or does she just invade the other one? Yeah, an invasion. Gotcha. Okay. Yep. There we go. Now we're in a bit of trouble. Yeah. Resident Evil. Alright, I mean, are you going to try to kill us then, or...? I'm pretty sure that Konayuki just died. Thoughts? I don't think we can get her back. Murder this child. She doesn't know. Chat, she doesn't know. Now she does know. What? Yeah, it's pretty fucked up. Kawauso. Okay. So you've literally got 2,000 lifetimes of experience? Yeah. What do you mean check and see? Just kick her. Huh. I wonder what that's about. Oh, it's that old adage, right? Oh, shit. Holy fuck. Oh, he said the line. Indeed. Did she swap the ends of the sword? Oh, okay, now it's a little bit more of a blunt thing. That was kind of metal. He, like, broke the splint on his arm. Alright. Thoughts? Are you just dead, or...? That's a really cool sound effect, too. Alright. Does that mean you're back? It seems like it maybe worked. That's good. I thought she was fucking done for. Oh yeah, great point. Because who else is picking up the sword? Alright, have a rest, I guess. Well, yeah, that was what last episode was about as well. Yeah, it's kind of one of the sub stories in the show. Yeah, but I think it's a good thing. Hello, hello, you two. Yeah, she got murdered. Yeah, good point. Acting independently. Now, the Alliance is an interesting storyline, so I hope we keep it around. What is it? Okay. Maybe I'll be Tracer? Oh. Sure. Maybe do that on the sword? Yeah, he's good. He has good information. Oh. Oh, that's what we meant by willing to die. Okay. Yeah. Some random third party has it now. Shikoku. Oh, okay, and that's where we see. Oh, that's funny. In the 7th episode too. Think about it. Like I would imagine it's just Nanami, unless there's a new character for some reason, and Nishio Sin is doing Nishio Sin things. It's okay. You had a tragic backstory. It's fine. Sanzu Shrine? Oh, really? Oh shit. Okay. Haha. All right, we'll do it so again in the future, I'm sure. We should have murdered her. No, that's every other Nishio Sin character. It's fine. Yeah. She also defied the laws of physics. I mean, it's fine. Just call it a mulligan. I disagree as we continue with the show. Oh, it's this guy. Tuxedo Mask. Sure. That seems pretty intense. Okay, sure. Just tell me, why don't you? Great. Okay, so next week's gonna be a fucking banger. Yeah. Oh, Snowman. That's very sad. Oh, and they're in the ED too. Okay, sure. Alright, reading this sub and that up the top means Yuki probably means something to do with snow. Like, that would make sense to me. But yeah, episode good. We're kind of continuing the Shichika character arc that I believe was kind of soft started last week. Um, which is growing past this. Well, it's kind of soft started way earlier than that too. But growing past this label of just a sword, growing feelings, making choices outside of just becoming a human, becoming a person, right? That has a moral code and will execute on said moral code. Like, I'm thinking back to specifically with the priest in the shrine, right? After killing her, like looking down at his hand that's like covered in blood after literally putting his hand like through her heart. It's like, am I the fucking bad guy here? Shit. And he's thinking that, right? And now he's coming to different conclusions, I think, right? And again, it's not being overtly told to me very much either. I like that. This song's kind of banging too. Yeah, enjoyable episode. I really enjoyed it. Konayuki's really fun. Oh, what is this? Huh? What am I looking at? Did they get a new animation team for the next episode? Like, just for that one? Sure. Fuck. Next week looks fucked up. What the hell? Sure. Whatever. It's fine. And yeah, jumping into a little bit of analysis on episode 6 of Katanagatari. And went back. I've got a few little details here to say about stuff I've discovered in the episode and doing a little bit of research on some stuff. So first up, we like to go through a few of the names introduced here and a few of the terms and that kind of thing. So first, the name of the episode is, it says Soto, but it's Soto Kanazuchi, right? So Soto is like twin blades, right? That's what I'm getting from it. It's like twin and then sword. That's what the kanji's telling me, right? Jewel, maybe even. And then Kanazuchi is sledgehammer. So, I mean, makes sense that we've translated it here as hammer the jewel edge, which I guess describes the sword relatively well. Next up, we have Konayuki. Yuki's pretty easy. Yuki means snow. I knew that one. Konayuki in particular means powdery snow. So, I mean, also makes sense. It'd be the kind of name you'd give to a baby girl in that kind of environment from that kind of clan, I think. Yeah. I couldn't see anything on Itazora. There's a few other ones that are just like the Maniwa, what animal they're associated with, which we've pretty much picked up a lot of already. They even give you the little text explanation as such. I guess the one here is Kyoken. We've translated that in the show as rabid dog, but here it says mad dog, which, yeah, he's a fucking mad dog. But anyway, I digress. It's more like, I was thinking rabid made sense in that it takes over somebody else's body, right? It makes them do things that aren't natural to themselves, right? Rabid, rabies, something that maybe. I don't know. I was thinking maybe there was something in that. Other than that, I don't really see much to do with the money we're here. The only other connection I have is some geographical stuff. So hang on, bear with me. Yeah, here we go. Okay, cool. Here we have Google Maps. Amazing. Here's the entire world, by the way. Very cool. I live down here, by the way. In case people didn't know where Australia was, it's down under. But anyway, I digress. We're up here in Hokkaido broadly. Now I've looked up, I think it was like Mount Omuri or something. No, Mount Adori. I've looked up Mount Adori. To my knowledge, this doesn't fucking exist. So I have no real spot to put this, right? There's some mountains here. That'd make sense, especially if you're coming around Japan this way. That would make sense to me that around here is where that would be, but I couldn't see anything that fit the description, so I'm just gonna leave it. Either way, Hokkaido cold, you went up to a cold mountain and it was cold. Pretty cool. Not much there geographically. What's interesting is what happens next, right? Apparently we're going to somewhere in the Tosa region, which is a different mountain, I think. And the Tosa region is down here, right? On Shikoku. Yeah, look, even there, Tosa. We're going somewhere around here. There's a mountain around here somewhere, apparently. And that's where we're going to fight Nanami? Which, okay, sure. In the 7th episode, Nana, Shichi, think about it. Think about it. 7th generation head. Think about it. So yeah, around here, I'm just wondering, are we using fucking Game of Thrones logic? Are we just fucking teleporting around? How long does it take to sail from here to here? Is my question. I don't know, probably not that long. Probably overestimating it a little bit. And of course, from last week, we know that all that castle shit's in here in Nagoya. So like that's where Princess Haite and all that are planning their little schemes. But either way, I think I should jump into the episode proper. This one was pretty good. I liked it. It's probably not the best episode so far, but I really felt for Konayuki, right? I thought that was really well done. And yeah, continuing this stuff with Shichika and discovering feelings, if we want to be that blunt about it. But yeah, that's kind of one of the major sub-themes going on here, especially the transparency between Togame and Shichika there, right? I don't know. Something in that. So we start the episode and there's some broad stuff from the narrator building up Ezo as this region that's fucked up, using bears and shit as like bears and fucking monster elephant seal things as metaphors for the people that are bred up here, right? They're fucking tough. That's what we're getting across, right? And then, of course, the contrast there with people describing, oh, there's some scary things happening in Ezo, that's why it's a disaster zone, and then literal little girl showing up. Like, it's fun, right? It's really fun. Comedy is built on the mismatch of expectation and reality. Think about it. So yeah, I find it entertaining for sure. I wouldn't be surprised if there's a part of the people that watch the show that really don't like Togame, right? She does complain a lot. She is pretty demanding. But I just find that so endearing. I find it so cute, right? That we have this guy that's very, stoic and stuff, doesn't want to show anything, and then Togami that's shameless. Shameless. Like, fuck, it's cold, it's cold, it's cold, it's cold. When she's getting a piggyback and, like, literally, like, leeching his body heat right now. I don't know, I always find that kind of stuff endearing. Maybe I'm a psycho. So yeah, this is a designated first-class disaster area that is Mount Odori, right? Where the Itazora, right? Yeah, Itazora clan, right? And apparently the snow is annoying. Oh, he even describes the wind here like a constant avalanche. That's a little bit interesting considering the rest of the context of the episode. There's some really fun stuff going on here with the hair. Like hers is just like a solid fucking object, kind of like a sword even. And you can see up the top here, his leaf is kind of like withering a little bit, right? Like bending in a weird way. It's like it's blowing in the wind as well. The other joke here is that Togame doesn't know what the Itazora people are like. So apparently they're meant to be like a yeti or like a snowman or something. Oh, that's where snowman comes back, of course. Great. So yeah, she's pretty fucking useless here. She doesn't know anything about the clan. She doesn't know anything about the sword. Like what are we doing here? Why did I bring you along again? This is what confused me, yeah? Soto is written pair of swords, so it could be a set of 2 swords. But it wasn't. It was merely a sword that you could flip upside down and use as well. It's kind of like a blunt weapon, which is weird. Again, this stuff's just great. It's so endearing. Like the distinction between a plan and a scheme in her mind and being a strategian and all that kind of stuff. She's kind of fucking stupid, and that's why we love her. That's my feeling on the situation anyway. So yeah, if we don't scurry up the mountain, we might turn into snowmen. Kind of this human substitute made out of snow. And then that coming back at the very end of the episode too. Like at the very, very end, she made some mates. She made some snowmen compatriots, that being Konayuki. That's great. Okay, I see the setups here that are paying off over here. So we're back at Owari Castle and we're going to rendezvous with Princess Haite, right? And she's a little bit dumbfounded. Why the fuck did they go straight to Ezo, right? Like, they should have heard about the return to power. They should have gone here to confront me or whatever the hell. They went up there? Interesting tactical move. It was entirely like somebody fucking with them for honestly really stupid reasons, and we just think that she's like a master like strategian because of it. That's great. This guy's called Amon Zaimon, and he's going to also be back next episode from the preview, right? He was kind of even standing next to Nanami. This is interesting stuff. The person that went out of their way to put the mask on your face, darker than darkness itself, and bothered to write unconcealed on it. Like, this guy's obviously like repenting for something. He's transgressed, and she did him the favor of letting him live with these conditions, right? Like, you've obviously got a backstory or something. Amon Zaimon, sure, we'll keep it in the mind, I think. And he kind of likes it. There was a wry smile here. Does he like being trod on? Is he that way inclined? Like, look at that. What a weirdo. I think he's getting off on this shit. This is the joke I was talking about before, the mismatch of expectations. Why do you think it was classified as a disaster zone? Because it has the harshest snowstorms. No, it's what resides on the mountain that's scary. That's why it's a disaster zone, and they may not make it out alive. So yeah, she can go ahead and keep flirting with Kyotoru until she realizes the real situation she's in, that it's really fucked up and stuff. In reality, there's one 11-year-old girl. So this situation that's been built up as one of the most dangerous so far ends up being the one where, like, we do end up losing, right? She is right in that, but it ends up being one of the most safe. I never felt threatened, really, this episode. Not really. It's just funny. It never goes the way you think, does it? So now we have Togame being even more dramatic and stuff, like she's dying and whatever. Make Japan adopt Cheerios so I don't look stupid. She's still obviously harboring that embarrassment from before. But yeah, it turns out she's not the one in danger here. It's actually Shichika. He just doesn't know it yet because he's stupid. You can kind of see it in his face, right? So I don't know if they've normally got these skin tones, but hers looks a lot normal. He looks very flushed right now, right? Like he is sick and he just doesn't know it. Some really great voice acting here. I really like the tone of Togame's VA's voice here, right? Like, really selling those, like, dramatic final words. Really, really good stuff. I don't know what all this stuff about becoming a mother's about, but sure. I mean, the romantic situation between the two of them definitely is growing. The hammock scene. There's also like a really nice piece of character animation towards the end of the episode when they're on that ship, where she just kind of leans on him. I really liked that. I thought it really sold that like she's really comfortable around him, and they're really starting to fall for each other, or at least she's falling for him. I don't really know if it's the other way yet. He's definitely getting that way, I think. Okay, I finally understood the joke. He has frostbite because he's walking barefoot through the snow for miles. Of course he does. Okay, sure. So when he looked down, that's what he saw, right? My body's kind of strange. It isn't moving properly. Yeah, your limbs are about to fall off, dog. They're like blue. So yeah, they're like literally about to die right now. It's very lucky that Koniyuki came around. And it's all because he doesn't understand what the meaning of cold is and was just kind of doing it. It's like, oh, this is what cold is. Okay, bye. Very lucky his fucking legs didn't snap off considering, honestly. And I even called it here. It's so built up that some kind of third party is going to show up and rear their head here. Here she is. Hello Koniyuki. What I wanted to do is check a VA. I've got a pretty good idea about who it is, but we're going to check regardless. Now, it's not who I thought, but for the record, they seem very versatile. There's a fair few different kinds of character archetypes there in their ANN. Let's get a name, Rina something. Yeah, Rina Hidaka. Gotcha. I think she does a very good job for the record. I really believe the performance. I believe that she really just wants to like make friends. And yeah, we learn here that she's extremely strong. She was even picking up some firewood along the way as well, like almost treating them as such, like luggage. After they are saved, we meet up with the Moneywe here and we talk it out a little bit and see what they're up to. So we got Phoenix, we got Turtle Boy, Umigame. We have the Duck the Rewind, which is freaking me out a little bit. Oshidori, sure. Otter the Investigator, which is Kawauso. This guy fucking dies, and the Investigator is a good name because that's entirely what he does. And then Penguin the Proliferate. Sure. Thank you, Penguin. And then this is weird, right? We see the Shapeless Maniwa Rabid Dog the Infectious Kyoken. Sure. And we just like don't get to see anything, and it turns into some scratches, and it's just kind of this invisible force that if you hit the tattoo, it fucking dies or something, or hit it hard enough, like you actually hit that instead of the like host. It's almost like it's a parasite, and you're trying to kill the parasite without killing the host. Yeah, very weird character. I don't know about this, but I'm kind of buying everyone else. They're pretty cool. I'm very surprised they didn't come up in conversation like at all. That hey, you noted these 3 other Maniwa guys, but we didn't see them at all. We don't know who killed them, which I'm sure will come up next episode because Nanami's going to be around. So interspaced through this conversation where they're essentially just talking through the alliance, right? Is we see these scratches. You saw them there, right? That's Kyoken getting mad, essentially, right? Like noticing that all the Maniwa compatriots are not out for revenge, right? They're actually making allegiance with the person that killed like most of the people so far, which I guess is fair enough. Like the Maniwa have to like, stand up for themselves a little bit, but I'm pretty sure you have a plan, right? You're not just doing it for them to preserve yourself. There's going to be some element of deception there, right, that you're not telling us. I don't know, Hor is an interesting character for sure. The money were also dumbfounded that they went to Ezo of all places, but, you know, that wasn't really their choice, they don't know that. And yeah, we're going to get Soto Kanazuchi there. We also learn from Penguin here that there's no longer a sword at Shireizen, right? In merely half an hour, I believe, there was a third-party source that was unbelievably strong that just went and got the sword. Oh, and that's interesting too. So then Hor, upon learning about this force, right, that's unbelievably strong, that took out, like, Shireizen or whatever the hell in half an hour and took the sword, we're going to send Kyoken there, right? And that would have been fucking terrible. Can you imagine Nanami's power and then in that person's body? Like, that would be the big... You just parasited the most powerful person in this thing. That's actually very fortunate that she'd already run away from the conversation at this point, and then they didn't notice that she left. She's also one of the fastest in the Beast Squad, so she's already got that advantage, right? And then these two are going to try and track her down and chase her. So Kyoken's out for revenge. She's particularly emotional. She's probably after the Strategian. Let's go to Ezo, basically. And yeah, this is the design of Kyoken. I kind of like it. It's pretty cool. We're definitely very horny. We're very horny today, which is fine. And I think that I really like the tattoos and the subtle character design changes when somebody is inhabited. I think they're pretty cool too. And yeah, she's off to Ezo to get her revenge. She just says to the camera as such. Sure. So now we're back with Kornoyuki, right? And we're praising her for being very powerful. We're finally inside. It's like insulated. There's a fire. We're warming back up. It's good. Probably would have died without your help, so thank you. She also refers to the other two as land dwellers, noting that she probably doesn't come down from the mountain very often. We quickly learn that she's part of the Itazora clan, and we know that we're meant to meet up with them, so okay, introduce us to your clan, that'll be awesome. It's very hard to say, but the Itazora village was wiped out in an avalanche just last month. Fuck. That's pretty bad. You know what's crazy? It's also fucking, like, summer right now there. Think about that. That's fucked up. And it's still like that snowy. So yeah, she's the lone survivor of her clan now. She's the only Itazora member left. She's the one that must be responsible for the sword and must be responsible for all the weight we're trying to put on this whole situation. We mention a sword. Kornoyuki pipes up and mentions that, oh yeah, I think I may have seen a sword somewhere around. I could go look at the village for you. Initially, she doesn't click on to what the sword actually is. I think that talks to more how powerful the clan is, right? That, like, this is just like a regular sword to us. We're, like, normally pretty strong, like, anyway. So the sword's just kind of ancillary. Like, it's pretty good. I'll use it. But it's not the be-all, end-all. It's not like the kind of worship piece of the entire clan here. We mentioned the mayor's eldest son may have had the sword, and doesn't really use it for hunting or protecting or anything else, because he's just strong enough anyway. Like, why would he have to? Like, he only used the sword while hunting is what I mean. Like, he didn't use it to protect himself because he didn't need to. Upon learning this information, we get, like, Togami and Shichika kind of planning out a little bit, but the whole time Kornoyuki's listening, it's like, I could just, like, go out for a bit and get it, even though it's buried under snow and stuff. Like, I could just go do that. We're concerned about her and the amount of snow falling, but apparently the snow falling is a part of us, right? She's so used to it, doesn't even feel that, like, weird or different. And yeah, she just fucking runs off and goes and gets the sword. Like, it's very, very easy. It's very, very different from the structure of other episodes up to this point. Togami remarks that maybe this is going to be really easy. Maybe we won't have to battle this time, right? And then Shichika, weirdly enough, is the one that pipes up here. I wonder if Kornoyuki is being kind to us because she feels lonely after losing everything, right? And Togami's like, you wouldn't normally do that. You're acting fucking kind of weird. Like, obviously showing a level of empathy for her. But this, like, I guess concerns Togami a little bit. She's both impressed and concerned, right? She's impressed because he's actually growing a fucking personality, which is cool. But she's concerned because we might have to kill her and take the sword. You understand that, right? You had no qualms killing random innocent people in the past, right? I'm thinking specifically the priest episode, right? Like, could you fight this little girl for this sword? Is that something you're going to be able to do? Or have you grown empathy too much to the point where you're not going to be able to do that anymore. Like, he's conflicted here, right? Initially, he plays it off for jokes. He's like, well, yeah, I could beat up a child easy, right? But to think their village was destroyed by an avalanche after living here hundreds of years. Yeah, wait, isn't the village on the mountain peak? Am I being stupid? Either way, Shichika's concerning himself with that. Now on to the other point. It's on the peak? How did an avalanche fall on it if it's on the peak? Either way, we get some sad music and sad Kornayuki here. I think the flower idea is very well executed here as well. The flowers obviously representing the clan people that have passed away because of the avalanche. Yeah, like, see where's the snow coming from? Up here. Where's that coming from to, like, crush everything and everybody? I don't understand. Now we get a nice intimate scene between Shichika and Togami, right? They're together in the hammock, right? They've sent Kornayuki out to get the sword or whatever. And I guess they're discovering something about each other, or more Togami's discovering stuff about Shichika, right? Initially starting the conversation like, hey, how did you know about Chestor, right? Considering you've been isolated that whole time. Well, my father told me, right? It's just that I thought you were saying it so boldly that I thought maybe I was remembering wrong, right? You were saying it with that much confidence that, I don't know, maybe I forgot what my father said, I don't know. And then that spawns on another question. Do you have any more secrets, right, that you're not telling me? And then, yeah, he just comes out right and says it, right? Yeah, I killed my dad with my own hands. And also I know that you're the daughter of the mastermind behind the rebellion whom my father killed, Hida Takehito. So this is where I was confused. In episode 1, he learns this information from Komori, but then doesn't share it, but also makes up a basis for him, like, falling for Togami, essentially, right? That kind of, like, despite knowing this, despite knowing she's not being entirely honest with me, I'm still doing this. This is a very weird scene for this to happen, right? Like, just, like, literally her whole thing getting spoiled right here. And I believe this is very important, right? So, I don't think Haite or whoever represents the establishment right now knows this information. I don't think they're aware of Togami's past and what her motivations may be behind getting the swords. Which, again, I'm thinking maybe some kind of rebellion. Continuing on that same rebellion, right? And the eye's got a lot to do with it. That's a broad theory for a later time, right? So she is very, very thorough about making sure this information doesn't get out. Okay, so Kyotoru knows it, that's fine. Komori knew it, and he's dead, that's fine. But did he tell anybody else? Well, he wouldn't have told the Maniwa because they're very competitive, and it gets her very paranoid very quickly. Clearly, it's very important to her. Upon thinking about it, Togami learns that yeah, he knew my situation and then still fell for me. Isn't that kind of romantic? And she feels embarrassed about it. That's kind of great as well. Yeah, if anything, it proves that the bond between them is stronger than we thought, right? Now that there's less secrets on the table. We're going to add another order to Shichika as well. He's not allowed to tell anybody this information ever. So it's like, protect the swords, protect me, protect yourself, and then obviously tell nobody about what we just learned. This is another important question as well from Shichika. So we're basically halfway through getting the swords if we get the sword here, right? What do you plan to do? What is your plan here? As your sword, I intend to accompany you wherever your life turns, and stay by your side wherever you go. But what about you? Once we finish the collection, what do you intend to do with your sword? Togami thinks to herself, Shichika, are you trying to ask me how I'm going to treat you as the Kyotoru sword after attaining all these other swords? And specifically treating somebody that should be the object of her revenge, right? So, Hida Takehito, whatever the hell, her dad was killed by the 6th generation head, Mutsue, or whatever the hell. So yeah, obviously, like, there's a conflict here. Your dad killed my dad. Obviously, if I get all these swords, am I going to enact the revenge on you? Is that where all this is eventually building up? And her answer is that she's still thinking about it, which is kind of insane. What? We're still in the middle of the journey. For now, let's focus on collecting the blades. I don't know if that's a valid excuse, but it's the reason why I don't want to give an answer to your question yet. And then Shichika pretends to fall asleep, right? Which is very interesting. And it even tricked me, the audience, right? I think early in the season, he would have done this, right? He would have just fallen asleep because he wasn't thinking that much yet. He didn't grow that kind of bit of cynicism about him, I think. But I do think we should talk about how insane it is that Togami, like, you're literally like, are you gonna, like, throw me out or try to kill me or do some weird shit? And Togami's like, I don't know yet. Good night. Like, I would have questions. I would definitely have questions. And Shichika definitely does. It makes me wonder if we're building up to some kind of larger conflict there by the end of this, right? From the end card of this episode, it seems like Nanami's going to die next episode as well, which is crazy. So what else is our big bad? What else is our... We still got money we're going on, obviously, and Princess Haite. But is there going to be interpersonal conflict there too? I don't know, just a prediction. Either way, Konayuki returns and has the sword. It's extremely heavy. Like, throwing the sword to the ground and it, like, snapping through that wood and, like, leaving a dent in the floor. And she's just, like, throwing it around like it's nothing. That's how strong she is. Upon touching the sword as well, he confirms that it's actually one of the 12. It's always very funny when we're talking about, like, it's the heaviest sword ever, and then, like, a literal 11-year-old girl is swinging it around like nothing. And then we learn more about the clan, right? Like, you have superhuman strength. And it's like, well, I'm literally the weakest of my clan, right? I'm literally an 11-year-old girl that tested the worst out of strength for my entire class. Like, I'm not very strong, and I'm still swinging this around like it's nothing. And this is Konayuki's lie. She's essentially like, oh yeah, we used to have this, like, doctrine or whatever. If any land dweller says they really want it, then they need to prove they're worthy. And we go and do just that. And the framing here is weird. She's literally just playing. She's finding some people to, like, fuck around with. Where you're, like, out to not kill, but definitely beat. You're trying very hard and she's fucking around. She's amateurish, she's not a very good fighter, she's very young. And I guess I'll talk about that central conceit as well. It's very interesting that once, like, a person that has a history in fighting gets a hold of this body, this vessel, right, and starts swinging the sword around, it becomes way easier to predict. The one I always think about, right, is think about you're playing like a first-person shooter game or something, right? It's way easier to shoot somebody if they know you're there. If they don't know you're there, they suddenly turn into, like, they're like the world's best dodging person ever, because they're so hard to predict. It's very easy to predict that one person will strafe this way or strafe this way if they've got their eyes on you. But if not, they've got their eyes on somebody else, so they're strafing that way accordingly. It's very difficult to hit them. It very, very much so is. So the other example I have is sport. So if you're playing against somebody that's just, like, knows the sport but they're kind of shit, it's so easy. But if you're playing against somebody that doesn't know the sport but has a massive athletic advantage, then it's very, very difficult, right? Because they're just going to do weird shit and they have the athleticism to just pull it off. This is kind of the example here. I don't know what this not hurting her business is about. It's very similar to last week's thing as well, not hurting her. Anyway, I guess we shouldn't hurt the 11-year-old girl anyway, but she does end up hurting us. We were scared that we killed her there for a second too. But yeah, here's the pertinent point. This is fun, isn't it? This is just like playing around for her. This is entertaining her now that the rest of her village is dead, which I guess is really sad. This is when she turns up the heat a little bit and literally betrays momentum. So she's like flying through the air now. You'd imagine the weight of the sword's going to pull her down. But she has the wherewithal to, like, move midair, pick it up, and swing it, which is crazy. That's what I mean, like, insane athleticism. And yeah, this catches Shichika off guard and fucking snaps his arm. Sure. I'm very happy it healed. And yeah, Togami calls it there, knowing that Shichika's in a lot of trouble here. And yeah, this is the first defeat of Shichika, which is kind of crazy to, like, a little girl. We then check in with the money worth. First, we're checking in with Kyoken, who just basically says she's on the way to Mount Dodori. Then we get to Kawa Uso and Ho'o, talking here. Like, hey, how much do you know about Kyoken's Nimpo, right? How much do you know about that? I heard you'd known her for a long time. Well, she's in a league of her own when it comes to time, because she's lived through 2,000 different experiences, different lives. I would describe it as something like a resident mind. She's going to, like, body hop, essentially, right? Like a parasite. This piece of animation here is really fun too. It's almost like Looney Tunes adjacent, which is really cool. As we continue to explain the power here, Kyoken's Nimpo can only be used on women, right? And the power of Kyoken's Nimpo will be beyond all description if Kanazuchi's owner turns out to be a woman. Which it does. And then that's where, you know, a smart audience would put two and two together. Well, we have this one character that's a woman that's extremely strong. We have this other character that's on their way here. The sword's involved. Like, you see the writing on the wall here a little bit. If Konoyuki was to die there, I think we could have played up the tragedy of that situation as well. Like, the last of a clan being corrupted like that. That's kind of fucked up. But we didn't go that route, we just kind of won. Yeah, you could put 2 and 2 together here very quickly, is my point. We mentioned here to Kawauso as well that he may need to die when the time is right here. Which he does. Just not in the way you think he would have. So Shichika keeps chewing on some frickin' jerky. He's like, this is pretty cool. The rabbit one in particular is good. And she's like, oh yeah, rabbit jerky? Shit, I'm gonna go like make up for it and find some more rabbits to kill and make some jerky. Togame is over in the corner kind of sulking, thinking that potentially she may be at fault for his arm breaking and forcing him into this conflict here. Like, you aren't holding a grudge against me for all these random reasons? No, not really. The one thing I may be holding a grudge with you about is you saying that you might kill me later. And it's saying, oh yeah, maybe, bye. And yeah, there's no hard feelings here, he just kind of underestimated her. That he admits to himself, even if he was estimating her, that she's unbelievably strong. Shichika says here that's the hardest type of opponent, one that isn't very experienced but is extremely strong, right? Just very hard to predict what's happening. And then contrast her lack of experience with, of course, Kyoken's wealth of experience, and now you could see why he thought that was very easy once her body got inhabited. Shichika here brings up his promise and that he hurt himself and kind of broke the promise there, and then there's a little bit of reconciliation here between the two, which is good. I don't think this counts as breaking your promise. Little fractured arm that'll heal in half a month. So now we need to talk about our game stat a little bit. So if I can't beat Konoyuki, I guess I could try again later when my arm heals, but shit, that's a long time, and then we're falling behind schedule and blah 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 blah. That's when Togame has the idea, right? She's like, maybe she's just stalling us. Maybe the only reason she's bringing up any of this stuff, like the doctrine of the clan or any of that stuff, lying about that, is to manipulate us into staying here longer, right? Because she's lonely. Yeah, Konoyuki understands that once she hands over the sword, we'll leave, and she'll have no mates again. And she wants some mates, so hence why I'm going to keep them around and probably hold this sword in perpetuity, if Maniwa Kyoken didn't impact the situation the way she did. I don't know if I can be specific about it, but I'm definitely getting Hachikuji vibes here, right? Just like this character that's initially just kind of cute and bantery and stuff, but has this kind of really tragic backstory to her. Like specifically catching the rabbits and talking to the flowers and all that kind of stuff, right? Like, this is very Hachikuji coded to me, I think. Yeah, this is the shot that demonstrates it the best. Like, where's the snow coming from? Is it just from here? Was the peak way higher and then just... Maybe. Maybe that's the answer there. She seemingly looked up when the wind blew and stuff and said, like, oh, everyone is here. Like, she kind of interpreted, like, the nature there almost as the clan spirits or something. That was kind of cool, too. She also admits to herself here that, hey, I'll tell them that I was lying eventually. It's fine. Just a little bit longer. So we could take her on a word here and say that maybe she would have just let them go after a little bit longer. Either way, Shichika finished like the entire pile of jerky, and then hears like a noise in the front of the cave, right? It's like, shit, what is that? And it was specifically the sound of like a dog. It sounded like a dog yelping. Which makes sense here. Hello, rabid dog. So there was a money around, and just reflexively she's just like bonk and fucking knocked her out. And yeah, this is Maniwa Kyoken. Hello, Maniwa Kyoken. She's still very angry and harboring all this rage towards Shichika and Togami, obviously. And is probably even more mad now that she got beaten so very easily by an 11-year-old girl. I love this note here by Shichika as well. Being knocked out right after showing up reminds me of Maniwa Shirisagi, right? Who's the second Maniwa who just literally got knocked out. And that was very subversive at the time, but now we're like 7 layers deeper than that. Very straightforward character here with Kyoken. She's just like, you killed all my friends, and now I'm going to get my revenge on you. And this is where Shichika kind of fucks up. Don't get too depressed. I lost to that girl too, like trying to be sympathetic with her. But he doesn't know that he just gave her the keys to the kingdom, right? Now she's just going to take over her body and try to destroy you. Another really underrated moment here is just like Kyoken putting out her hand, like, oh yeah, handshake. And like just Konoyuki just putting out hers to meet it. Like not suspecting a thing. So naive. I love that moment. I think it's very funny. Followed by a moment I don't love very much, which is just like weird shots of these two played back to back to back. I don't know, man. I think it's interesting that she turns to dust, like her old body is discarded and now she's got this new one, right? That made me have grave fears for Konayuki. I thought that she was going to die no matter what here. The voice change here is amazing as well, now that I'm noticing it, right? Like, the really cutesy voice used for Konayuki proper, and now Kyoken in Konayuki's body has this, like, a little bit more evil tone to it, a little bit raspier, a little bit lower, a little bit more experience there almost, right? Less like wide-eyed and childlike. Cool, very cool. But still, like, very noticeably still the same voice. It's just, yeah, really well done. So this is where these two figure it out. She's got a resident mind. She takes over other people's bodies. And yeah, meanwhile, Kyoken's enjoying the new body and all the strength that she's using here. It's one of the best bodies she's ever had. Togame then gives the command here. It's time for you to kill her. Kill her, cut her down. Like, specifically, like, kill her. Like, kill her, kill her. Kill the kid, kill everything there. Instead of just kill Kyoken. Which is what Shichika, you know, exercising a little bit of autonomy, figures out himself. This is a really weird scene where, like, Kyoken figures out from the memories that she's inherited that her whole clan has been destroyed. So I guess her plan here was to go to the clan and get an even stronger body, but now that she can't, she's just going to turn around and, you know, make the best of what she's got right now. Specifically, these flashes through here are excellent. Like, the body getting buried there, and then that shot right there is fucking excellent too. Very, very well done. Here we get to the crux of what I've been talking about. She's got 2,000 bodies worth of experience, fighting experience. I inherit those memories. I carry along those memories. I'm literally the best, most experienced fighter ever, probably, right? And yeah, compared to Shichika, who's had only 20 years of training, he's a fucking greenhorn. But in reality, this is a lot of training. Like, that just shows the difference in experience. Of course, the most contrasted experience being with that and Konayuki, right, who has none. And yeah, he starts to escape very easily. He starts to dodge the attacks. It's like, I just wanted to confirm something, yeah. And then just fucking kicks her in the head and fucking... Yeah, turns out when I know what you're going to do, because I've seen it before, because you're experienced, I'm just going to execute on my fundamentals and destroy you. Yeah, way easier to read an experienced person as opposed to a pure amateur. There's another order here from Togame as well. If this woman takes over my body, make sure you kill me without hesitation as well. Don't think for a moment that a hostage strategy would work against the sword. Just so you know, the strength of my body is on par with a sliding door paper. Please don't use my body. This is where Kyoken gets up and has one final go. She flips the sword around. There's no clear handle or tip, so you're free to hold it either way. That's what it meant by kind of the dual-bladed idea of it, right? The two swords. We thought maybe it meant two swords. It means one sword that you can hold either way. Yeah, either way, I don't know how this works, but he hit the fucking tattoos, and that killed Kyoken, but kept Konayuki alive. Which I guess is good. I mean, I liked Konayuki, so I wanted to see her stay around. So again, Shichika acted on his own there, just hitting the tattoo, not hitting the person underneath, mostly under the idea that, hey, we need somebody to carry the sword, and she's the only one that can do that. But was he actually being sympathetic to her a little bit and her plight? Especially lonely? Imagine how Shichika must have felt on that island all those years, exiled. That's essentially what Konayuki is undergoing right now. Maybe there's a little bit of sympathy there. And that's just my thought, maybe. Acting out on his own, not following your orders as strictly? Is this the growth of something that we're going to need to address at some point? Maybe. Maybe. This is the first time Shichika made his own decision not to kill his opponent, and against my orders too. Kyotoru is but a single sword, but before that he's also human. I thought I should wake up that human side in Shichika, and make him find his resolve as a person and not a sword. I told myself there would be insurmountable hurdles if I didn't. But now that it's actually happened, was I right? Maybe everything I've done in the last 2 months, specifically the 2 months, has merely served to dull his blade. Because as his owner, I didn't know how to handle the sword. Very, very interesting. Should I have done this? Have I opened Pandora's box a little bit by giving this guy emotions? By trying so hard? That's what so much about episode 5 is about, right? Is experiencing that, is making Shichika feel these masculine feelings, right? Should you have done that? Should you have? He's acting more and more human every day. And then, yeah, this scene here is pretty easy to explain, so I'm just going to do so instead of just playing through it. So Kyoken acted on her own and went and attacked Shichika and Togame, right? She was part of Maniwa. That makes Maniwa look bad. That makes the kind of alliance that they have going on look a little bit fraudulent, right? Ho-Oh realizes this, tries to apologize and stuff, then describes Kawauso's abilities, right? That he basically touches object, like this fucking jar of M&Ms, right? He touches his object and says, hey, I know everything that happened to that jar of M&Ms now. So he's a fantastic information gatherer, like top of his fucking class. Would have a strict advantage in doing data on you and finding more swords and getting a one-up over on you and all that kind of stuff, right? He is very important. I'm going to show how sorry we are by killing him. Right? This is how much I want you guys to value this allegiance, is that this is how I'm punishing myself. And then, yeah, we basically just tell him to skedaddle at the end there. Very, very interesting. I liked this character too. I'm sad that he kind of died. But yeah, you're very interesting, Hor. Why are you prioritizing this so much? We need to learn more there, I think, what you're actually planning in all of this. Well, I should mention there seems to be a little bit of history here between Togami and these two in particular. I know that she did work with the Maniwa, but yeah, these two in particular for sure. As a last show of good faith from Ho-Oh, we're telling Chichika and Togami here that the owner of the Shiraisen sword changed a few days ago from somebody that's apparently monstrous that took out the entire clan or whatever, whoever was protecting the sword, in half an hour and took it for themselves. It means that someone besides yourself and us are gathering the swords. It would seem that the new owner got on a boat from Roku to Shikoku, Shikoku being that kind of island, not quite the most south island, but almost. It's under Honshu. I recommend that you deal with it soon. The new owner is a monster that laid waste to Shiraisen in a mere half hour. Now we get a final little bit of reconciliation with Konayuki. She's the only one that can take it to Owari, so that's what she's going to do. Owari being very central near Nagoya from memory. And don't worry about the Sanzu Shrine, where you're going to be living now. I heard that your ancestors originally came from Izumo. Cool. So those uninitiated, Sanzu Shrine at Izumo is where episode 3 took place, with the priest on the mountain and all that kind of stuff, right? So that's cool. That's kind of two storylines meeting up. She's going to go chill with all the people in the masks. Okay, sure. That's a weird matchup, but I kind of buy it. Hopefully she becomes some kind of new guardian or something. Wasn't the shogunate going to send somebody down there, maybe? Anyway, weird. It's a weird connection, but she's going to stay in the show, hopefully. That'd be nice. This final moment here where she jumps off to the boat and says goodbye, making a big splash. Very, very cool. Specifically, thanks for playing with me. Waving goodbye. How cute's that? So apparently we're going to go to Shikoku and see some kind of giant Buddha statue with a sword or something. And Shichika mentions that he may have some kind of regrets here. The regret specifically, we managed to defeat Kyoken, but my defeat by Konayuki still stands. I don't even count it as a loss, says Togame. No matter how many times you say it, I still don't get it. Shichika still feels like he lost here and that he failed. Interesting. I say you mulligan it because it was just some random fluke thing. Are you sure you haven't had a change of heart? I'll wrap my hair around you again. Very funny. Yeah, this is the piece of animation I talked about, just kind of sneaking across and leaning on him, right? If you absolutely must conclude your fight with her, do it after finishing our sword collection journey. Just making sure that you're establishing ownership over him and that he doesn't have a thing for little girls. He doesn't look like this man, so he doesn't have a thing for little girls. He agrees to the terms and we get the narrator taking over here. Shichika's humanity was making fast progress as they reached the midpoint of their sword collection journey. We say Aemon Zaimon here, right? And apparently next month's deciding battle will take place at the holiest ground for swordsmen, Mount Sayabashiri, inside the Seiryo in Goken Temple, where the Buddha of Swords sits. Okay, cool. And apparently this is where we're going to have our showdown with Nanami. Shichika has now achieved victory without killing the owner twice in a row, but in his next fight, he will undergo the experience of killing his own sister. Very, very cool. I don't know about putting this here. It sets up a next set of expectations for next episode for sure, but I don't know about all that. That's kind of crazy. It's kind of like spoiling its own show. Will the sword or the heart or both of them be broken next time on Katanagatari? And of course, ending the episode here with kind of two adult-ish figures, right, of snowmen and one smaller one. Indicating to me that they played snowmen at some point, and this helps her feel less lonely, I think. It's also a representation of the clan that has passed away. I don't know. I like the snowmen, they're pretty cool. They also show up in the ED here as well. Let's do the lyrics here as well. The song for the record, pretty good. Nice kind of slower tempo one. I wonder if I should freeze the snow before it drifts down to the ground. With a single breath, the dagger of ice, mistaken for an icicle, each time a cloud yells. The moon will show the blade, even a fate I encounter because of hate. Also for love, bluer than indigo. On the day when I realize my wish, the sky will quietly be perfectly clear, and fate will melt into the sky. Now let's talk about this next time on. What the fuck is going on with the art style? What is this? Who are you? Who the fuck are you? Yeah, there's some fucking weird shit going on next episode. I don't know what the fucking hell is going on. It looks a little bit more normal there. But still, like, the lines are very, very thick. I wonder if it actually is going to be, like, differently animated. I guess we're going to have to see next week. But yeah, this episode, again, you watch them twice and they're way better. Yeah, you really just feel like you understand it more. I really do. So yeah, this was really, really good again. I'm really enjoying the show, like, a lot. Way more than I thought I would be. Like, again, I say that every week. This show is fucking fantastic. More people should talk about this, like, all the time. I will say there's one disappointing thing that I didn't really talk about in the video, but I thought again. I think we're missing more Kyoken backstory there to make me really, like, feel her a little bit more. For me, like, her basis for moving is the Maniwa core, right? And caring for her friends. For me right now, she's just like an evil person who wanted revenge. I want to see why she cares about that relationship a little bit more. But again, you've only got that 49 minutes here to tell that whole story. Either way, again, very, very enjoyable show. Looking forward to more next week. Just going to do my chill stuff. So if you like the video, consider liking the video. If you like the video and you want to see more, consider subscribing to the channel. Comment below anything you thought about the episode, anything I could do to improve my presentation. Comment below. I'm doing follow for follow on Twitter, so follow me on Twitter if you'd like me to follow you back. And the Discord, join Discord, love Discord, 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 Discord. Vote in that movie poll at your leisure. And yeah, I guess we're moving into episode 7 next week and looking forward to that accordingly. And I'm saying goodbye. Thank you for watching. Cheerio. And all that jazz. Thank you very much.